Welcome back to another episode on the MLD Balls page. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the 2024 NBA champions, the Boston Celtics. Congratulations to any Boston Celtics fans currently listening to this episode right now. Y'all finally won the championship the year Miami was hurt, but y'all finally did it. And yeah, the 2024 NBA champions are here, and the team that is going to be exciting to talk about. This is one of those teams that every offseason, they have always in the news, always in drama, always somehow, because, they one of the better teams of this generation. So, that's who you talk about in the offseason. You talk about the contenders. You talk about the teams who have a chance. That's what people like hearing about. And Boston Celtics fans, that's just what it is. Y'all a threat, so everybody want to talk about y'all. This team has it. I don't even care to get into it, but it's like I have to. You got Jaylen Brown win the Finals MVP and not being a part of Team USA. You have Tatum getting benched. I don't think that matters at all. Whatever. You got Drew Holiday and Derek White on Team USA. Playing a lot of minutes, those guys might come into the season a little bit worn down. They just made a finals run, had an Eastern Conference Finals run the year before that one too, and they playing in the Olympics, fatigue is getting to them a little bit. And that if the Boston Celtics ain't the number one seed, that's what the story is going to be. It's going to be fatigue and injuries. But talk about injuries, we got, my boy right there, Kristaps Porzingis is going to be a huge part of this team because, I'm happy we're getting into him. He's not going to be on the team until at least December, January, because he was hurt in the NBA Finals. That last game he played, he wasn't that healthy. Those last couple games, he just was playing off of adrenaline and playing off of perks maybe. But Porzingis, he's going to be out until at least January-ish, December. And this Boston Celtics team is going to have to win games without him. It's not something that they aren't capable of. They've done it a lot. They've shown us that they could do it, but it's just something that they're going to have to do now. Jayson Tatum, he's going to have him a year this season because he got to come pissed off. Like, everything that he's doing is right. I think Jayson Tatum played so well this NBA playoffs. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but he improved as a playmaker. He improved on his rebounding. Like, Tatum was pretty nice to me, and this was the best that he's ever looked to me, in my opinion. Especially, he's been so aggressive going downhill. Not something that he used to do to me. And I used to always complain about that. And now he's doing it. It's like people are out on him. I don't get it. But as soon as I'm starting to buy in Tatum, I guess that's when the hate starts because he got what everybody didn't want him to get. And I didn't want them to get that ring either. I'm a Heat fan, but they did it. And Jayson Tatum was a huge part of that. Probably the Finals MVP, honestly. But, he ain't win it. But instead of talking about drama, and like I said, the Boston Celtics, their drama is never really like, we're not good enough. It's always, who should have won Finals MVP? Who's better? Jayson Tatum or Jaylen Brown? These guys, they do not talk to each other off the court. It's so obvious. They gotta get broken up. Derek White and Drew Holiday, come to Olympics team. We do not care about you, Jaylen Brown, Finals MVP. Everything about the Boston Celtics. It's never in their own. It's always the media. It's not them. It's just always the media. It's never them. It's never them, but that's how it be. That's how it be sometimes. Especially, like I said, when you a threat. And their starting lineup, bro, this starting lineup is the best in the NBA, even with Al Horford, in my opinion. Al Horford is literally a plug-and-play. Kristaps Porzingis doesn't do the same things at the same level, but he's really good. Porzingis is greater. Of course, he has a unstoppable play for this Boston Celtics team that just makes them unfuckwittable. But Al Horford is a good playmaker. He's a rebounder, but so is Porzingis, and he can shoot out the ball. And he's a great rim protector, great paint protector, I would like to say. And Al Horford is a solid player for them. Jayson Tatum, like I said, one of the best players in the league. Jaylen Brown, another one of those guys, one of the best players in the league. Drew Holiday and Derek White, one of the best defensive backcourts I've ever seen in my life. Probably is the best one I've seen in my life. One of the best ever. Like, when you look at this defensive backcourt, bro, put it up to the Ron Harper, Michael Jordan backcourt pairing, the Gary Payton and whoever that gritty defender was next to him. those are where the Boston Celtics backcourt rank defensively, at least, and that's a real nice place to be because holy, they are ranked there up there all time. I'm bringing up Jordan and Gary Payton as their competition. That lets you know what I think about them. Peyton Pritchard off the bench is a great player. The thing I like about this Boston Celtics team is we just talked about how plug and play perfect of a starting five they have, and their bench literally is just shooters. Nothing else. You don't need nothing else when your starting five is that well because you can just put Drew Holiday at point and then plug in anyone. You can plug in Jordan Walsh at that point, even though Jordan Walsh isn't all that. But yeah, you could just keep Drew Holiday at shooting guard and plug in Peyton Pritchard. You still have a pretty good defensive team. You're just losing one of your best defending guards of all time, and you still have another one next to Peyton Pritchard, which helps him a lot. And then you could just put in Drew Holiday at point guard. They put Sam Hauser in there, and same thing. Yeah, you lose a little bit of whatever with Derek White not being on the court, but you got a shooter and he plugs in place. This team just has shooters off the bench, and you don't need anything else when your starting five is that good. You have Xavier Tillman, who he's gonna be the guy who is the only non-shooter besides Luke Cornett. But Xavier Tillman, he provides a lot, especially in a series against a team that they're going to face a lot, Miami. He will be someone who's a tweener and could play the tweener position. You do need a tweener that could match up with other tweeners. I do think that's a responsible thing to do as a team, and Xavier Tillman is going to be that guy for them. You have Luke Cornett, who pretty sure he's the guy who does that funny thing with blocking threes where he puts up both of his hands, but he's just a solid backup big. I think the Boston Celtics, that's what they're going to need to attack this offseason, is a backup center because Porzingis is going to be out. They have Neemias Quetas. I don't know what they do with those last three spots. That's kind of why I left them blank. What I would do is I would just get the defensive center as one of them. And then I don't even know this Boston Celtics team. That's kind of why I felt comfortable doing this video, even though they last three spots aren't fully identified yet. This team, the top 12 is so good to me that this is a championship roster already. Probably even in that favorites conversation, they probably are the favorites. And they don't even have their last three spots on the roster completed. That is a very important thing in my opinion, even though it's underrated. But yeah, this Boston Celtics team looks legit. It's deep. And their closers is literally they starting lineup. That's how you know that their team fits well together. Their closers are the same as their starters. And I kind of put Porzingis in there because I do want to talk about Porzingis a little bit. And I do know that he's not going to be there in the beginning of the season. And we already talked about that. But their actual rotation in the games that matter later on in the season, they will have Porzingis closing in games over Al Horford. And he provides a unstoppable play, like I said, with him posting up. If he ever gets a mixed match and he posts up, it goes in 70% of the time. And if you do the numbers on it, that's 7 out of 10 times. So the Boston Celtics have no problem with stopping everything they're doing and getting an almost automatic bucket. And then you have two playmakers in Derek White and Drew Holiday. Actually, three with how much of a better playmaker Jayson Tatum has become. And then you have Jaylen Brown, who gets his buckets at any moment of the game if he gets a chance. Jaylen Brown is a nice scorer, great defender. This team is an amazing fit. Amazing fit. They run 5 out the whole game unless they got Luke Cornett in, and he doesn't even come in that much. So this is a team that gets to run 5 out majority of games with great defense, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. What can you do about that? You have to guard every single person on the perimeter on their team. So it gives the basket so much room that just open. And then Jayson Tatum, who's 6'8", 240, just going at the rim with everyone open. This Boston Celtics team is nice. This Celtics team is nice, bro. Their rotation, like I said, you could just plug in Drew Holiday with those shooters, and same with Derek White. You can just plug him with the shooter. And Baylor Shireman is one of the best shooters. I do think highly of his floor. And if the Boston Celtics could get somebody who's a shooter with a high floor at pick 30, why not? Just get you a random shooter, and that's a nice thing for the Boston Celtics. The reserves, I did list some names this time because, I guess, but this is why I didn't really name these guys. We'll see who makes the team. I do think Jordan Walsh is going to be one of the guys who makes it. I'll be surprised if Sivi didn't, I guess. But at the same time, would I be surprised? No, I don't want to talk about the reserves too much. Baylor Shireman is nice. Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, when they're off the court, one of them goes at small forward. And this team is nice, bro. This Boston Celtics team is legit. They won the finals for a reason. And they added Baylor Shireman, bro. This guy he's nice. Hey, to any Boston Celtics fans, you got a guy who is on the older side. That's the reason he fell. Again, his draft age. Like, there's no other reason he fell. He plays super hard. He has the feel for the game that everyone would want on a outside shooter. He has a knockdown shot. And bro, he was pulling up in people's mouths from super deep in college. So that's NBA range. He could knock it down with people in his face at NBA range. He's a great passer, especially for his position. He's not going to be a point guard, but he's going to be a shooting guard, small forward, and a power forward that is going to be a decent passer. He's going to be a guy who could attack those closeouts when he is getting his, because people are going to, at some point of the season, Baylor Shireman is going to be such a good shooter that people are going to run back to him if, they left him open, and he's going to be able to take advantage of those closeouts. He is somebody who's very good at that, very good at shooting. And this Boston Celtics team generates a lot of 3-point shots. And this was a perfect fit. And I hate how perfectly he fit. My draft comparisons was a Sam Hauser. That's his floor. What Sam Hauser does with just coming in the game for a little bit of minutes and knocking down a couple corner shots, that's the worst thing that I think Baylor Shireman could be. I think that's the worst he could be. He's that good. Literally comes in and is an NBA player off of it. Chandler Parsons is similar to that role. Sam Decker kind of reminded me of him in college, Johnny Furphy, who's also a rookie who got drafted this season. Don't know where he got drafted by. I don't know where Johnny Furphy at. Maybe the Pacers. Maybe the Pacers, but yeah, Johnny Furphy, tune into him also. Luka Doncic, because he has a little post game on him, but it's not anything too crazy. He gets to it the same way Luka does, though. He posts up from the 3-point line, kind of uses his big body and then his frame and just post fades it away. That's something that Baylor Shireman does a couple times. So would Klay Thompson. And another thing with Klay Thompson is Baylor Shireman is a elite catch and shoot three, just like Desmond Bane and just like Josh Hart. He is a 2-3-4 who's very great at grabbing rebounds. At that position, he grabs boards a lot. He's very gritty. Baylor Shireman is going to be a nice glue guy for the Boston Celtics. I hate how much of a good player he's going to be for them, because as a Heat fan, my team got better. And one thing I want to say, Boston Celtics fans, beware of the Heat. I just want to let y'all know, I talked highly about y'all team for about 10 minutes. I'm done doing that. Beware of Miami. The first year y'all won a ring, y'all took the same amount of games from us, or we took the same amount of games from y'all as every other team in the NBA. Y'all went to 5 games the most this playoffs, and we took y'all to 5 without Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero, and we added Khalil Ware. Beware. Be safe. And Boston Celtics fans, stand up. Enjoy that 2024 NBA ring, because, bro, that's a great thing to have, and, yeah, it might be your last. So, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Boston Celtics fans, have a nice day, and, yeah, God bless.